Alright, so my thoughts for you today are on what I would like to call a business shower. Now, you'll all be really familiar with the idea of a baby shower. When a couple are expecting, generally what will happen is a party is thrown to bring the new parents-to-be gifts, or typically I believe it was originally for giving them things that they didn't have in their homes to support looking after the baby. To contribute, basically, to help. And the typical reality of when a new business starts is if you go out and start a new business, and I know that we experience this when opening the coffee shop, is your friends and family will turn up asking for a discount or asking for a freebie, which is quite counterintuitive when you think about it, because you've just potentially put in your entire life savings. You're potentially in a significant amount of debt now on a risk that is most likely to fail, and they're asking if they could help speed up the odds of you failing. Doesn't quite add up. So this idea I've had for a really long time, and I really try to stick to it whenever my friends are starting something. The idea of a business shower. Whereas when they are announcing a new business, or when it's the start, the first day, not actually when they just discuss it, but when they've actually taken action to make it happen, turn up with gifts and custom that will help support them on their journey. Now, a fantastic example of this I have is our friends Ollie and Kira are opening up their second gym location in the centre of Bath, and they put everything on the line for it. All of the money they'd made over the last 2 or 3 years, they'd collected advance payments from all of their existing clients. They'd found a client who helped them procure the building, and they then spent a month flat out decking this place out to build the dream for their members as to the new location of what it would be. And it's funny because when they first came up with the idea, I asked them, how much is it going to cost? How long is it going to take? And they said £40,000. It'll be done by April, and this I think was in December. And then I was like, okay, cool. So 100,000 in July, and I was spot on, which is very, very funny. But it's entertaining because in the final days leading up to something like a business opening, lots of family and friends will turn up being like, oh, how can I help? I'll do anything I can to help. And Ollie and Kira turned them all away because the reality, more hands don't make light work if the hands have no skill. They actually just get in the way. When they don't know how you want things, they don't know what it really takes, and they just kind of do a half job, and you'd rather just, don't even start it, just leave me to it, I'll see you at the end. And so Millie and I turned up unannounced, and we just got started. We didn't even ask, we just did it. And originally we wanted to give them some space, so we turned up with food, because I remember being in that same situation in the coffee shop. We had 5 weeks to get it open, and just forgot to eat. Lost a lot of weight, and we turned up and could see our friends in exactly the same scenario, so we just went and got them hot food 3 times a day. And then on the second day we noticed things weren't going to get done, so we just dived in. And it was funny, it was about 3 a.m. the following morning when we were still in there, because that was the morning of the launch, and we were laying tiles all night long. We got in there from 5 in the afternoon after all the contractors had gone home, and then we worked all the way through till 3 a.m. We were all delirious. But we knew what it takes to really get that stuff done. And it was during that night that Ollie shared the story of them just turning their friends and family away, of being like, it's just not helpful. Please leave us to it. And I can definitely relate to that. And actually those same 2 friends, when they launched a product side of their business, they were making parallettes, I was the first person to order a pair. And that's how you support a company. That's how you support your friends. If you're truly someone's friend and they're starting an endeavor, don't ask for a freebie, because you're actively killing them. Instead, pay double, order 10, or buy a load and share it with your friends. And Give them true testimonial feedback if you are the client that they serve. If you're not the client that they serve, your feedback is not helpful, okay? And that's the point. It's really important to understand that if someone has a business that services 40 to 50-year-old females for this specific thing, if you're a 25-year-old man, your opinion doesn't help them unless you have experience with business or something very, very specific to what they're doing. So it's all well and good and lovely that you want to support, but just understand what it is that you're doing and how you're contributing, and are you adding work or are you taking it away? And that's kind of my message for today. And I think a really, really fun one actually for all this is Arnold Schwarzenegger had a fantastic story of when he moved to California, go to LA for Gold's Gym, and he turned up and he had nothing and he was training, and his friends, his new friends at the gym, when he finally got a place to live, they turned up with pillows, with cutlery, with plates, stuff that he couldn't afford to fit out his home with because he spent all of his time and money trying to achieve the dream. So it's a really interesting story to check out, and I'd seriously recommend it because that's where I got the idea of a baby shower, or of a business shower, essentially. And so, yeah, that's my thought, and the message I want to spread to the world today is, if someone is going after something that is admirable, that other people say is impossible, that someone thinks that's a bit crazy, find a way to support them. If you can't do that, or there's nothing that you can actually give them of value that's going to actually help in their journey, the nicest thing you can do is stay out of the way. Maybe send a text message and that's about it, but otherwise give them the space to crack on, because they're working their arse off 16 hours a day, they're not sleeping properly, they've got a whole load of stress, they've got a new premises they need to pay for, they've got staff they need to figure out how to pay, there's a whole host of problems that are coming their way, and you taking their energy and actually taking resources from them is literally detrimental to their likelihood of success, which obviously is not what you want for someone you love. So yeah, let's host business showers for people, as people do with baby showers, and that's not needed in today's society in the general case. Business showers very much are, because most businesses do fail, and there's not a lot of support for an entrepreneur out there, speaking from experience. There we go. Lots of love, guys. Have a great one. Peace.